I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, he bellowed. In all honesty, it was a compliment. He could have thrown me pretty far. In his tan coveralls with a wide oval patch that had Lepre embroidered in black in the upper left pocket, Bobby Lepre glared at me with enough heat to burn a hole through my suit jacket. Now, generally, I don't know what someone looks like before I meet them at their deposition. And whatever I picture Bobby Lepre looking like, it wasn't this. Sitting at the conference room table, waiting for people to arrive, I looked up to see a half-human, half-giant. His outline took up the whole doorway. Naturally, I stood up and walked over to him to shake his hand and introduce myself. Jefferson Fisher, I said with a smile. Bobby, he muttered. Now, I'm not a small guy. I'm over 6 feet tall, but I barely came up to Bobby Lepre's chest. He was an absolute mountain. As we shook hands, the squeeze from his ginormous, callous hands left an imprint in mine like a scene from a Tom and Jerry cartoon. I'd never been around someone so physically intimidating. The case involved a bar fight, and I was representing a bystander who had gotten caught up in the scuffle. As part of the case, I needed to depose Bobby Lepre, a witness to the events. In a deposition, I get the chance to ask people questions under oath, typically to learn what they know before they testify at trial. Clockwise, around the antique conference room table, sat the court reporter, writing everything down, Bobby Lepre, the opposing attorney, and me. After asking Bobby to raise his right hand and placing him under oath, the court reporter gave me her customary nod for me to begin. I asked Bobby Lepre routine questions about his background and what had led up to the fight. They were easy, open-ended questions, like, what time did you arrive? Who did you talk to first? Did you see so-and-so or do this and that? It's common to use such questions to build a chronology of the events from a witness's particular point of view. At all times, I made sure I was kind and polite. 90% because that's my personality, and I'd be lying if it wasn't 10% out of just sheer self-preservation. He was not someone I wanted to upset. But no matter how many softball questions I asked, Bobby Lepre was becoming increasingly agitated. I'd seen it enough times in my experience to know. His eyebrows began furrowing with each answer, a sign of negative emotion. His breathing got heavier as he switched from exhaling through his nose to exhaling through his mouth, a sign of increased stress. He started wringing his massive hands together as he spoke, a sign of anxiety. It didn't matter what I did. It seemed as if just my entire existence in the room offended him. I could sense the tension around the table heightening the more displeased Bobby Lepre looked, like I was blowing up a balloon and it was about to pop. Finally, I asked him, Mr. Lepre, would you like a break? The room went silent. No, Bobby Lepre said, clearing his throat, but I got something to say. His words rang out louder than necessary, so much so that the court reporter jumped. I quickly glanced at the other attorney, who couldn't have been younger than 65. He looked more nervous than I was. When we locked eyes, he gave me a wide-eyed look and slowly shook his head as if to say, if this goes south, you're on your own. I turned back to look at my witness. Yes, sir? I inquired. Bobby Lepre took a big breath in and said, you can cut all this buddy-buddy stuff. Except he didn't say stuff. You lawyers, you're the worst thing to happen to America, he continued. All you do is lie. He slammed his hand down on the table, then drew it upward with a pointed finger at me, saying, so go on and ask me your stupid questions. Just know, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. I'm telling you, lawyers, you're the worst thing to happen to this country, he repeated. The court reporter gave an anxious look. At that moment, 100 thoughts raced through my mind.